my name is Dominic Fonte, your Ward 4 Councilman. This is a wrap-up for a pre-election wrap-up, so I'm going to do this as quick as I can. The biggest issue that I hear is miscommunication, perception versus reality, so I want to set the record straight. So the big issue, I believe, is communication between the city and the residents. So as a result of correcting that problem, I rolled out a video YouTube channel in 2015 of October, and I created 31 videos, including this one. Also, I have a YouTube and a Facebook channel you can subscribe to stay informed about what's happening in your ward as well as around the city. The other thing is that as a driving force internally, we're trying to improve the communication between the city residents and the city by doing a Facebook page. We're improving the website. We have streaming video now live as well as archived in City Hall chambers. So if you ever want to see what's going on and you can't make it and you hear rumors, you want to know the facts, go to our city homepage, and on the bottom you'll see the YouTube channel. Click on it. You can see all the archives. The other thing is we are improving the IT, the website, and we also have recycling dollars to put out a newsletter for the people that aren't on to high technology. So I hope as you learn this, the audio and all this, we're doing a lot to improve communication. The next thing is the road projects. I hear a lot about the roads. You know, the roads are in bad shape. Well, you know, as we came off the economy that was bad, we only had $800 budget for the roads, which doesn't go that far really. So as the economy continues to improve, I was able to bump the budget up to $1 million this year. So we're trying to get that approved so that'll get more jobs and as well as more repairs done. Three huge projects that you may not be aware of and are going to start this spring of 2018 is the Everhard Road project. So the whole Everhard Road is going to get done. We got a grant, a federal grant to take care of that. It'll start in spring of 18. And we're also going to do lane changes going as you head east. There's going to be 2 lanes heading east turning on Cleveland Avenue versus 1 lane. So instead of it backing up, it won't do that anymore. So that'll be done. That's a big improvement. Also, Whipple is going to get done. We have a grant for that. Now on these projects, it saves us money because we got a federal grant, so our local dollars aren't being spent on it. So, and the third thing we're doing is the South Main Street from Rose Lane all the way down to Knoll Road. And then I had a conversation with the engineer about putting a better binding together so it holds the blacktop together under colder temperatures. So we're in the process of doing that as well. So we bumped the budget up to $1 million. And as far as like an infrastructure issue, what we're dealing with is what's called the storm sewer or drain grates. With the salt and snow removal, the salt deteriorates the bricks and mortar underneath the roads, which hurts the drainage and infrastructure underneath. So what we've been doing is we placed 140 of them this year and about 230 last year, so we have 3,000 in all. So we're making great strides in that department. So you'll notice those big cement cast things going in the ground, which is going to improve the drainage and infrastructure. The next big issue was the Zimber Ditch. So in Ward 4, for about 40 years, we were afflicted with the Zimber Ditch issues. So in the course of the last 3 years, we were able to secure enough grant money to take care of the 18 families that were afflicted by this mess. And so we have that taken care of, as well as we have the area, the spillway area over in Glenwood and Linwood. You'll notice a little divot there. That's for additional flooding in the future. The other big issue that I hear a lot about is the Hoover District. What the heck's going on with the Hoover District? It looks like a foreclosure there on Cleveland Avenue. So on the positive, we have about 1,200 jobs on the East Maple side, which has brought the revenue up to prior to Hoover leaving. That's the positive side, but what we see and what I get yelled at all the time about is what's going on with the Hoover District, the windows and the plastic and all this. Well, I did call Stu Lichtner. I had a conversation with him and I met him for an hour. This was several weeks ago, and to try to find out if he needed investors to help invest in the project. And he assured me it wasn't a money issue. He had 3 big issues that happened to him. One was he had an environmental issue he had to clear up, which he did, so he had to pause the project for that. Went ahead and took care of that. That was a costly repair. The second thing that happened, he wants to get the 140 apartments rolling, but when the CRA got pulled out from under him, that was a big factor that he wanted to use for the apartments to help save money as a businessman. And the third issue that he ran into was the EB5 money that he gets, his funding from. There was a gentleman in China where he gets the money from, and he was doing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of projects with the Hall of Fame, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, and there's other places in California that he's doing. And so the EB-5 money, he tried to renegotiate with the broker. The broker went renegotiate with him, so he went ahead and got certified to do his own EB-5 money. So he breached the contract, is what they said, so he's being sued for that. So that put a pause on the project. But he's committed to do the project, and he said that he's going to work on the retail and commercial here, and then also clean up the front. So hopefully we should see some movement there very soon, but he's committed to the project. And the MSB, so the business district in North Canton, to generate more activity for people that want to come to our community, live, work, and play in our community, they're looking for more things to do. Now, when we have this old real estate inside the city, since we don't have a lot of expansion opportunity, I rolled out a resolution to planning to activate the MSB, which is our Main Street Business District, from Everhard Road up to Orion. By doing that, that will allow zoning and planning the flexibility to work with the setbacks and light poles and parking and signage and other things, which we so desperately need. And so I'm working hard at that. The other thing that a lot of people aren't aware of is Orchard Acres, which is the Apple Streets off of Everhard Road. I'm working very hard to get sewer into that area. So a lot of those are just normal sized lots, and the septics are starting to fail. So that could be a health hazard, as well as a very costly thing to the city. So I was able to get the engineering done. So we have the engineering done to get the sewer linked into that subdivision, but we're waiting to see if we can get a grant in July of 18, and if we get the grant, that will save the taxpayers more money too. So we're always looking to try to save some money and get things done. Unfortunately, things don't always get done every 2 seconds because there's a lot of engineering and different things that have to be done. But as your council, Ward 4 councilman, we're driving it as council. We're working well together. The mayor's doing a fine job. I know you hear perception, but the reality is we are getting things done. And you can call me anytime if you want to talk about concerns you have or frustrations you have. And I'll be, instead of hearing rumors, if you call me, I'll tell you straight up what's going on. My number is 330-418-1535. And the other big issue that I've been hearing a lot about is the school issue 44. Like, what is this all about? Well, as citizens, a real estate expert, and people that live in communities, you know the fact that the school system is very important. We want our kids to be in safe schools, healthy schools, and also we want to make sure the teachers are paid because they help guide our children. But the issue is that what's the reality of it? Well, the reality is that if it passes, 0.75 will be added to the income tax if you live in the city. So it would be 2.25 instead of 1.5. And there'll be also something placed on your property taxes, which is 3.99. There's already a 2.5 on there that drops off in 2 years, and then it'll drop down. But the reality is, yes, schools are important, but if it doesn't make sense to you to fund it this way, then they'll have to go back to the drawing board and come up with another way. The problem that I hear the citizens complaining about is that we don't mind helping the schools out, but with the 0.75, there's not a limit on it. It just goes until infinity, and I think that's what most of the citizens are upset about. So you can voice your opinion if you like it or if you don't like it at the box on Voter Day here coming up pretty quick, November 7th. So I'd like you to spread the word that I am doing the best I can to communicate everything that's happening in the city. Subscribe to my Facebook and YouTube channels so that you can stay informed, and I appreciate your vote this November 7th. Thank you.